So, I was reading something yesterday about a lady, Mrs. Hoots. She was a secretary at FedEx before. She started at the age of 19. She didn't have her school certificate. She had not gone to school yet, but she was able to type, she was able to write, she was able to do those basic things. So she was employed as a secretary at FedEx. So she told herself that, okay, let her start with this job, and few years from now she wants to be better. So she went to school. She was going for evening school while she was going to work during the day. Where is she right now? She's the first female black CEO of FedEx, where she was a secretary. We gave instances the other day of someone who is now a pilot who was a cleaner in the airport where he was working as a cleaner before. We've given instances of a lady who was a secretary but is now a vice chancellor in a university where she was a secretary. These people don't just get there by magic. They don't just get there because they are luckier than other people. They don't just get there because God wants to bless them and then we are cursed. They made efforts. They made a little effort to improve themselves. And so today we're going to be looking at these steps. There are so many people we can call. Very few successful people came out from rich homes. Most of them came out from the poorest of the poor. Some of them, okay, I was reading about Kos Charis the other day. I don't know if you guys know Kos Charis, the owner of Kos Charis. Yes, he was a sales boy. They brought him from the village to come and do, sales boys or apprenticeship, I think that's what they call it, with one man like that. He didn't even have a place to stay. He was sleeping in the shop. He said, "Okay, I beg, I don't have any place to stay. After this, can I sleep in the shop?" The man considered it, said, "Okay, after all, I need a security man." If this man is here, all those petty thieves that want to come and take something will not be able to come in. So he was sleeping in the shop. He was eating once a day. But this is a multi-millionaire now. That was exactly. That's the part that tricks me. They said that if you want to convert souls, you don't enter a bus. You don't enter a bus.
People was not saying, "Is this not Oscaris? This guy is what is he preaching for?"
That's enough to convert souls. You don't enter a bus after preaching. You tell people to give you transport, and you expect them to be converted. There was a lady that actually did something like that. She went into a bus. After preaching, she paid everybody's transport. It was on the news. That's the way to convert souls. They say, if you come in your Range Rover and tell people that Jesus loves you and I was where you are, you can be where I am.
He did not even go with Range Rover. He went with Okada.
And people recognize him.
Now those people guys in Balloon, first of all, recognize this people guys there. Wait a minute. People go Ghana. He begin to preach. That's the last thing.
Yeah.
He has gotten what he wanted.
Yes. But when research was done, they found out that there was some, it's not like these people planned it. They did not say, okay, let's all become successful 10 years from now. But they all did something in common. And researchers found out what were those things they did. The first was personal development. They said we are not paid for the time we spend. We are paid for the value we bring. Economic value. You might be the most valuable brother to your sister, the most valuable son to your parents. But if you do not bring economic value, your salary will be equivalent to the value you bring in. While some of us are receiving 10,000 naira here, some people are receiving 1 million naira every month. Not in US, in this Nigeria.
What is that?
I'm not working more than most.
Don't be so sure. Don't be so sure. The hardest work is mental work.
Mental work.
That's why they say the laborers there that are receiving
2,000 naira per day.
You say?
2,000 naira per
They
day.
are receiving 2,000 naira per day. They are doing the hardest work.
Yeah.
The conductor is doing the hardest work. But that man is sitting under the ACO and he's receiving 2 million naira. Yeah, I had a TTL from World Bank. I think when they were discussing his salary, he told us that he received 3 million naira every month. He retired from World Bank, so he was trying to advise us that we should start our own businesses. That even him that was earning that much, now he has retired, he's starting up a business. And he said, see, I was earning 3 million naira. We're like, oh, hey, good. Then it was shocking until I started getting more exposed and I noticed that it's not only him. I was talking to a lady the other day and she was like, how much was this man paying in that office that he has not paid people's salary? I said, 100,000 naira. He said, people receive that kind of money in Nigeria. And I was like, ma, are you in this planet? She said, well, she receives $100 per hour. I mean, say $100 per day. She said, she's in Nigeria.
$100 per day.
$100 per day. So that is 30-something thousand. 36,000 naira every day. Multiply by 30. But that's not where she was years from now. She did something, and that's what they call personal development. You can be 2 times more valuable than you are right now. That's the beginning. We don't jump to 10 times valuable. Because if our salary is 20,000 naira now, our target should be
10 million every month. 10 million.
Yes.
800,000.
I'm telling you. Because she didn't understand that people were
That's
receiving.
going to spend money. That's going to spend money.
Then go market to buy things.
You know what I've noticed in this world? It's not about how much you earn, it's how much you keep from what you earn that makes you. I know people that receive $3,000 every month as salary, but halfway through they will come and meet me that my salary is less. That please, I need some money from you. It's the truth. It's how you spend your money that matters, not even how much you earn. So, back to personal development. If we are this valuable right now, we can plan towards being 2 times more valuable in 1 year and 3 times more valuable in 2 years. Before the century is over, we are 10 times more valuable, and people like us that we left behind will be wondering, how did this person do it? That's when they now say, this man is lucky, it's not luck. While he was reading, while he was burning the candles, you were sleeping. He said you can turn your car into a mobile training center for yourself. Not Hembelembe. Honestly, I used to listen to Hembelembe before. It got me depressed. How do I hear that a lady went to Italy? They told her brother, her only surviving siblings, that she's going to they are going to help her get a good job in Italy, and they will allow her to go. And then they get there, and she says in a day, if she doesn't sleep with 25 men, her day has not started. And I'm supposed to come to work feeling good. It spoils my whole day.
25.
I'm telling you, I was depressed when I started crying. I was in a taxi
25.
that day. The taxi man came, madam, what did they do?
That's the one survive. That means the body, our body self will be dead.
It was her. It was
No,
her
you can't be dead to
uncle.
men. It will not, they will not let pleasure in it again.
The uncle sold their parents' properties and gave them out. Yes, gave out her brothers to other people to be house boys in their house. So she was the only one remaining in her uncle's house. Her uncle started molesting her. So when a woman came that she has a job in Italy, she'll be sending money to the uncle should allow the girl to go. The uncle allowed her to go. And she went there, and that's what she was doing. And they had an agreement, and they had a covenant. If you dare run away, you will die. So all the girls are scared. And then they now tell them that, okay, this is the amount you're going to pay me before you leave. So from those 25 men, she has an amount to pay the woman. In fact, she wasn't getting any money. And the annoying part was when she finished paying, the woman still refused to allow her to go. That she must still pay extra. One guy, the another part is Nigerians that do this to us there. It was a Nigerian that linked her up to this woman. Now, it was a man in Italy that helped her to get, as in to free her, said, okay, let me pay the woman the balance. After paying the woman the balance, another Nigerian sold her into slavery. That they have a slave market. Sold her into slavery. It was this same man in Italy that went to pay for them to release her from slavery again. They now paid for her to come back to Nigeria. So she was in Hembelembe telling. Hembelembe was crying. I was crying. Taxima was like, Madam, what did they worry you?
I nearly cried. I'm about to cry.
Do you understand?
25 men in a day.
These are the stories. These are the stories that we listen to at the beginning of the day. Please, how does it motivate us? Whereas, if you just go to YouTube,
you come back home from Italy, writing lectures,
exactly.
believing that they are making
Exactly.
once knowing that they are killing some
That's
people.
the ones that even go willingly. What about the ones that are forced to go and they don't make money after all this? Like this one, she came back with nothing. And Belemba was the one that got her a house at Galadima for her to start staying there. Told them that they will help her look for a job, as in to start, even a secretary job, then she'll start going to school. He paid for all of that. But my point basically is that if we do not plan towards personal development,
within the 4 years he spent there, she could not even account the number of men that have
She's
slept.
Has
not
slept with
she's
her.
not on her own now. She's under
she
somebody.
couldn't. But so our pastor,
What is it?
it says manipulation. Okay, it's fine.
It happens a lot.
Yeah. But my point is that time we're using to listen to Hembelembe that's not helping us. Like today I listened to Jim Ron for 45 minutes while I was in a hold up coming. I learned a lot from him. Everything I'm saying to you right now is what I learned from listening to this guy. He says that he uses CDs in his car. He learns for 45 to 1 hour in his car when he's going to work in the morning. He buys books that he will see his library. And right now, that's all he does. I think he's dead right now, but that's all he did for a living, talking to people. And they pay him. They are paying him so much to come and learn from him. He said at the age of 25, he was broke. He didn't have one dime, but when he read The Richest Man in Babylon, Richest Man in Babylon tells you how to save money from scratch. Give you 5 years to become a rich man. Those are the kind of books we should be reading. The books will tell you that if you do this training and that training, you can get a better job. Because maybe it doesn't work completely like that in Nigeria, but it works like that abroad. There are trainings you attend that if you're earning $5 per hour today, if you conduct that training and you have great experience in it, you can start earning $15 per hour afterwards. So you can start saving towards that training and then find a way to improve your skills on it and then move to the next stage. So when it comes to personal development, we learn from ourselves, we learn from people, both from failures and from success. People that are successful failed. There is nobody that has a successful business today that will not tell you that he failed at least 5 times in other businesses before he became successful. And that was what made him successful, because of what he learned from them. So we should learn from other people's experiences. We should listen to audios. We should read books in our spare time. When we see ourselves, I was talking. I posted a video yesterday on Facebook. Then my former boss in a World Bank project I worked called me and said, "Tessy, you have grown." I said, "Size height or size or weight?" He said, "Have you forgotten then when we say you should come and do presentation? Even during meeting, you cannot talk." It wasn't because I just woke up one morning and started talking. It's practice. Before I talk during a meeting, I will sweat for 5 minutes. I will be analyzing. Are you sure what I'm about saying makes sense? See you. This consultant is here. This other person is here. This doctor is here. This engineer is here. You, what nonsense do you want to say? I'll start judging what I'm about to say. But with time of constant practice, before they talk, please excuse me, sir, I have something to say. Then it wasn't just about that. There was an interview I went for to host a radio program. So they said that, okay, I have 5 minutes. I should assume that I'm interviewing somebody. I should start. Sports. I say sports. He said, okay, change. Politics. It's not asking me what exactly am I going to say. I started stammering. When the man heard my voice, he said, "Tessy, I want you to be the host of that show." but I see you're not ready. I give you 2 weeks to go and practice and come back. Oh yeah, now all my colleagues turn to my audience. I'll just gather them and say, sit down, you video me. I was watching Mo Abudu. I don't know if you know Mo Abudu.
No.
Mo Abudu's shows. How she would cross her leg and talk to people. I said, does this woman have 10 heads? I would listen to Oprah. When Oprah started, she showed us the video of how she started and how she is right now. You get, and I will practice even the way they are moving their hand. I will do the way they are crossing their legs. I'll struggle with my fat legs and try and I did that for 2 weeks. When I went for the interview, I was like, this is the person that came last 2 weeks. I was like, you've gotten the job, you know. So we need to improve on ourselves. Now, how do we do this? By setting goals. Where do I want to be few years from now? That's what I always ask myself. 10 years from now, how much do I want to be earning? I honestly want to be earning like $9,000. Let me start from there. But can I do it on my own? No. Yes, it's by the grace of God and opportunities that He brings my way. But I need to be prepared for that. I cannot earn that with the qualifications I have right now. I know I need to be honest with myself, but I can improve on it. I can say, let me improve on my presentation skills. Let me improve on my confidence. Let me improve on, another thing I can say is, that man that earns that amount right now, what qualifications does he have? Let me start working towards achieving them. They said, you want to be successful, find out what successful people have done and do the same thing. So we need to set goals for ourselves, and we shouldn't think short. They said if your goals are not goals that shock people, then they are not goals. If your dreams are not dreams that shock people, then they are not dreams. It's something people can acquire. If you tell yourself that right now I am earning 80,000 naira, I want to earn 500,000 in 10 years' time, it is achievable. It is achievable. Then you ask yourself, what should I do to be able to achieve that? You improve yourself. You increase your value. That's how you increase your value. So don't ever think that where you are is the end point. Always know that there's a better place waiting for you. How can you get to that better place is what we should work on. And then the last thing I want to talk about is our finances. Yes, money is not everything. They say money is the root of all evil. But it helps us to achieve a lot. Let us face facts. And if we are not rich, we cannot even help people. If we are not rich, we cannot save the lives we want to save. So how do we achieve this from where we are right now? They say money attracts money. So if you can save 1 naira, it means that in 10 years from now, you can have 365 multiplied by 10 in your account. That is 3. So let me say, if you can save $1, you can have $3,650 in your account. Do we have $3,650 in our account? No. Did we have 10 years ago? Yes. Why did we not? Because we saw that $1 as small. We felt that saving $1 every day is too small. If I am wrong, please correct me. Because that's what I used to think too. I'll say, saving 100 naira every day. Which day will you reach?
It's an economic theory, propensity to save, propensity to invest.
Exactly. So Jim Rohn will always tell you that
is 3,000 naira monthly.
It's 3,000 naira monthly.
Multiplied by 12.
Is
36,000.
Is 36,000 multiplied by 10, 360. But some of us don't have 360,000 naira in our account, even if it is small.
Well, that is 10 years.
That is 10 years, but we've had 10 years before.
Yes.
We've had plenty 10 years. Do we have the 360? We don't have. So my point is, start little. Jim Rohn will always advise that first, when you get your monthly earnings, you give yourself, or you invest in yourself. How do I put it? To say that what he means is that you should save it. You should save first before you spend. Don't spend and say, let me save the balance. Save some. After saving some, then you can invest after it gets to a reasonable amount. So he would always say that use the 50-30-20 rule. That is, spend 20 on whatever you want to enjoy it, or you want to hang out with your friends. Keep 20 for that. 50, spend it on your expenses, your needs, your family needs, all those things you need to purchase. Making it 70 you will spend. The remaining 30 is for savings, both spiritual savings, because whatever you give to somebody, you get back. It has always worked for me. It has never failed me, consciously or unconsciously. I gave somebody 500 naira in this office last week. As soon as I left here, somebody asked for my account number. I paid him 10,000 naira.
Is it not this way?
I didn't want to call his name. Somebody paid him 10,000 naira. Somebody paid him 10,000 naira to my account.
Well, you're supposed to pay him tight again, so that another 10,000 will still come.
But the truth is that it has... That's the one you want to hear. But the truth is, it has always worked for me. And it works for all the rich men out there. That's why they say when you give, the rich men will always get richer. Because the poor ones will say, oh, I don't have enough, let me manage this one. The rich ones will always tell you to take, and they will always get back one way or the other. They would never lack, be sure about that. So from that 30% that you're to keep or to invest, 10% should go to charity or tithes or whatever you call it. Then the other 20%, you can save some and invest some in yourself. Henry Ford will always tell you that even if everything he has today gets taken away from him, in 5 years' time he can always get it back. Why? It's all in his head. So the best investment is an investment in yourself. Goods can always get bonds. Things, money you keep in the bank can always get stolen, but nobody can take what is in your head already from you. A guy is a quantity surveyor. Nobody can take that away from him. Even if they take his calculator.
I will still use phone.
Nobody can take that away from him. So we should invest in ourselves. What are those courses we can do that will improve in our profession? Accountants, I can, right? ACCA is there.
ACCA,
I can.
I think I can, then the ACCA.
Yes.
Those are the two bodies.
Yeah. Ajoke, what can you, Donnie, before you go, what training can you do to improve yourself professionally?
Please, I'm even trying to get one more.
What's the name?
It's all about this, what do you call it, this on business development.
Okay. Ajoke, what training do you feel you can do to improve on yourself?
Based on where I used to find myself wherever I was, watching a course on basic accounting as a basic
Accounting, exactly.
That's it. She can start with 8 years now.
Exactly, 8 years. Francis, what course do you feel you can do to improve yourself? Okay. Even if it's not just professional courses, you can get another degree. You can get, you can say, okay, let me do my master's, or if you don't have your bachelor's degree, you can say, let me do my bachelor's degree. Or if you have one and it's not even helping you right now, you can do another one. Before you know it, 4 years have passed and you are done. And it gives you a higher qualification. There are jobs I want to apply for and they say, if you don't have master's in this, and I'll be like, oh my God, I shall not go do another master's. Because when you look at the pay, it's enough to motivate you. So my point basically is, let's make that effort. And if we don't save some money, we cannot advance professionally. We cannot improve the value of our family lives. Do you understand? Your child is going to one primary school that the teacher speaks Hausa. What if you improve on yourself, get a better job, and get a better school for your child? So improving ourselves personally improves the lifestyle of the people around us. We should not forget. Now, the basic tips for these things are time management that we talked about last week. We should always find a way to manage our time. We tell ourselves 1 hour every day, let me read something. In a year time, you will be a professional in that thing you're reading about. Then, consistency. We should be consistent in everything we do. Don't do today, don't do, then tomorrow you say, I did not do. We should discipline ourselves in such a way that when we set a goal and break it down, say, okay, if you want to be a medical doctor, it takes 6 years now. Before the century is over, you are a medical doctor. Do you get? whatever little thing you feel you can do, whatever professional course, whatever books you can read, even if it is our normal motivational books that you want to read one every month, then you can say, how many pages can I read every day? 15 pages. Before you know it, you're done with the book and you didn't have to spend your whole day reading it. You want to build a career as a musician, you want to build a career, whatever you need to do, just create time for it. That's how you manage your time. Then you have to be consistent, like I said, set goals to achieve these things and be disciplined. Because when you say, okay, let me write down a breakdown of what I need to do today, and then you now start doing another thing, you are not disciplined to follow that list. So that's it for today. I hope it inspires us. I hope it helps us to improve our lives. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions?
Gracias.